Hey everybody, just wanted to demonstrate the new controller feature and then a new debugging aid for controller designers. The first thing we're going to do is talk about the trigger transformer. I've added a new transform type controlled. So the way transformers work is they take a signal mobile, maybe from a motion controller or a trigger lock, whatever it is, and it will transform the mobile that triggered it into the party members, mobiles within the range, mobiles in bounds, mobiles in the region, the mobile's control master, the herder, and the one we're adding today is controlled. And what this means is that if the trigger transformer detects a mobile, it will look to see if that mobile is controlled, or rather that that mobile controls other mobiles, and it will list those and pass those on to the next controller. Okay, so our demo here has sort of the usual configuration. We have a motion sensor that's going to detect motion, is then going to send that motion off to the trigger lock, and our trigger lock is set to 10 seconds, so it'll block any signals. It'll take one signal every 10 seconds, the others it'll block. From the trigger lock, if it succeeds, we go to the trigger transformer. And as I just mentioned, the trigger transformer is going to look at the mobile and see if it has control over any other mobiles. So what that means is, like, if you're a tamer and you have 3 dragons, it would detect your 3 dragons because you have control over those. In the demo here, I'm going to get an escort, and in that case, I will have a single controlled mobile, and it will be the escort. So when that succeeds, when it's able to detect you have controlled mobiles, it passes on to the broadcaster, and our broadcaster just says, "Got it." And it will actually pass that message on to the mobile that passed the trigger transformer. So we go from the motion sensor to the trigger lock, block multiple signals, onto the transformer, which detects controlled mobiles of the mobile that's triggering it, and then if that succeeds, we go off to the broadcaster. Okay, so nothing's happening. I'm moving around here. Nothing's happening. So I'm going to go get myself an escort. I will take thee. Okay. So now what we expect to see is that when I move near this motion controller, it'll go through the trigger lock. It'll hit the trigger transformer. The transformer will see that I have one controlled creature, and it'll pass that controlled creature on to the broadcaster, and the broadcaster is going to send a message to the mobile, a public overhead message, say "I got it" or "got it." Okay, so let's just try that one and see how it looks. Right there, got it. So the motion sensor detected motion, went through the trigger lock to the trigger transformer to the broadcaster. Got it. So that was 10 seconds. So now if we keep moving here, you'll notice it's not saying anything because the trigger lock is actually blocking us out now. All right, there we go, got it. So 10 seconds had elapsed. Okay, so that's the flow, that's the mechanism. The new feature here is trigger transformer controlled. The other thing I wanted to introduce here that I've been wanting to do for a while now is add another debugging aid for controllers. And one of the, not problems, but one of the difficulties in laying down these controllers is if you were just to walk over here, okay, got it. Okay, now you're over here and she's not saying got it. You wonder where the controller chain is stopping, where it's failing, what is the blocking controller. So let's turn on some debugging so we can find out which controller is blocking. Okay, so you do that, it's really easy. You set debug to true on the controller. So we're going to set debug to true on the relay, on the broadcaster, and on the transformer. So what we're going to see here is I'm going to move, and we're going to see true, 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 meaning the 10 seconds, we're within the 10-second window. The trigger transformer is going to detect that I have a mobile, and the broadcaster is going to broadcast it. And then my mobile's going to say, got it. Okay, true, true, true. You actually saw a false pop up here because I actually took 2 steps. And the first one was satisfied the controller, and then the things moved across here. So we're going to do it again. It's going to succeed. True, true, true. Got it. Now let's move. False. So the trigger lock was blocking me until the 10 seconds elapsed, and then you see that everybody went true. Let's try it again. False, false. So what we're seeing here is that the trigger lock is blocking me, and we can now know by looking at these messages where the chain is stopping. It's actually a pretty big deal, because if you have a complex controller chain with 15 controllers, and you're not getting the result you want, it's difficult. It's very difficult to figure out where it's getting blocked. And now with these debug messages, it's very easy just to see in real time where it's getting blocked. So I'm going to move twice here. I'm going to move once, you're going to see true, 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 and I'm going to move again, and you're going to see it blocking here. Okay, so that's really it. 2 new features. The trigger transformer has the transform type controlled, and you can now set debug true on the controllers, and they will tell you where the chain is blocking, where the chain is broken. Okay, that's it. See you next time, next video.